Everybody, welcome back to Michelle's garden. I'm out here in the back building this morning enjoying a cup of coffee before I get started. I'm going to be planting some corn today. I'm going to be planting some tomatoes, cucumbers. My tomato plants, I have to tell you what happened to that. I had probably about 300 tomato seeds that I had started, and I've been trying to acclimate these seeds, or these tomato plants, I'm sorry. And I had them outside, moving them in and out of the weather. My biggest enemy has been the wind. It's been terrible with the wind. Past 2 days we've had wind up to 25 miles an hour gusts. And I took this week off so I could do planting, finish planting out the garden, you know, get everything in, because this is the time to get it in. And I had planned on selling those tomato plants. That's why I started so many seeds. I was going to keep about 50 for my garden. And while I was at work, this terrible storm came. They were under the cover of the back porch, but the back porch is not completely closed in. It's open, so the wind just tore my plants up. Then the temperature dropped dramatically, and they suffered a tremendous amount of damage. And it just broke my heart, because I have people who are buying from me, and it was very disappointing, you know, because I've had 2 very successful years with tomato plants and gardening, and these were the best plants I had ever. I was so excited about them. But I did purchase some tomato plugs. I purchased them from Hosstool. He sends them through the mail Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I have about 40 plants that I got from him, and I transplanted them into some pots, and I'm just going to sell them to some people who bought from me last year, you know, just so they have some tomato plants. And then I ordered another 20 plugs just for my garden. I'm waiting for them this morning so that I can put those in the garden. And I'll show you how I put my tomato plants in the garden. I use a calcium nitrate that I put in the hole with the tomato plants. Some people will put eggshells. Now when I plant mine and put the calcium nitrate in the hole, I've got eggshells that I have crushed, and I will sprinkle that around each tomato plant, because last year I had cutworms that were cutting my tomato plants off the ground. And then I'll show you the corn that I'm gonna plant. I've had 2 successful years with corn. I love to grow corn. I bought some Indian corn this year. I've got to find somewhere that I can plant that, because my regular corn, I want to make sure that it comes first. But the Indian corn was just for just because I thought it was pretty. It reminded me of my childhood. I remember seeing some Indian corn growing. I thought it was beautiful. I may wait till a little bit later in the year and have that as a fall harvest. I'll wait and see. So I'm gonna drink this cup of coffee. I got to work on a few little irrigation things out in the garden. Got to straighten out my drip tape. It's been laying there in the garden all year. I need to straighten it out. Make sure it's buried a little bit under the dirt, and then I'll take you guys into the garden with me. So hang out with me. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys my beans. I showed them to you at the beginning of the video, but something is gnawing at my beans. So I'm gonna put some dyed earth on them. See right there how that's chewed up a little bit. I got some other ones that are like that. So I'm gonna sprinkle some diatomaceous earth on that. See if we can take care of that. Now right here is the 3 rows that I have set aside for tomato plants. You can see I got some T-posts there. I'm probably going to leave those, because I think what I'm going to do is 2 rows I'm going to try and do a Florida weave, which is You take some sort of twine and you go around your plants as they grow to hold them up and attach it to the posts. And then I use panels also for trellising tomatoes. Here's some right here, if you can see those all along there. Now I did that last year, and we have some pretty good storms that come from back this way, and it completely took those panels off the T-post last year, and a whole row of tomatoes all went down with it. We get some pretty good storms, and I don't do tomato cages. I just haven't ever had any luck with tomato cages. With the storms that come through here, it takes the cage, the tomato and everything, and rips it out of the ground. So I don't do tomato cages. I'm not against it, I just don't like them. So my irrigation system, let me show you what it is I need to work on, because this right here is my row that I'm getting ready to plant the corn in. You can see right here, this is my main line, and off of each one of these lines is some drip tape right here. I've got some valves where I can turn this row off if I don't want to water this row when I'm watering the other rows. You can see my drip tape is sticking up out of the ground. I bury it just about an inch underground, and then I'll turn it on and get the ground wet, and wherever I see a wet spot, that's where I will put my corn, my seeds, and I kind of zigzag the corn all down this row, and it grows really well. These are the tomato plugs that I was telling you about that I got from Hosstool. I mean, they've grown just a little bit being in these pots since I've gotten them. They're doing really good. They've been outside for 2 weeks now. So my arbor out here, I started painting on that to put a fresh coat of paint on it about 3 or 4 days ago. Then the wind picked up, and I've got to work on painting some more on that today. I want to show you, I've had trouble trying to get something to grow over the arbor. I've tried roses, I've tried black-eyed Susans. Last year I tried a butterfly pea, a blue one, and I'm going to try that again this year. So I didn't know you're supposed to soak these seeds overnight, so that's what I'm doing. And so this is the butterfly pea. I'm hoping that it will grow good this year and grow over that arbor. It'd be beautiful if it makes it. All right, I'm gonna get out here and try to straighten out my irrigation system so I can get some corn in the ground. Let me show you guys what I'm growing as far as corn. I got my seeds in these little photo containers that you can get at Michael's. Mine are all different colors. Let's see what I got here. Now I'm planting just whatever I have left over from last year. I didn't buy more corn this year. I usually go with Hosstool. This is Providence sweet corn. I had really good luck with that last year. I have this sweet corn from Ferry Morris. Have some seeds left over. I'm going to plant. And then I have a burpee sweet corn. It's a yellow corn. I'm going to plant that. And then if I get a chance to, I got a bee that's messing with my leg. Here's my Indian corn. The carpenter bees are out here like crazy. I mean, I'm dropping everything. They're in the back building. They're out here bugging me. Okay, so let me show you what ate my tomato plants last year. Here's one laying on the ground. That pretty wild that it's out here. And I don't have no tomato plants planted yet. Check that out. That's a cutworm. And it's got to go. It can't stay out here and eat my plants. Okay, guys. You like my hat? I don't know how well you can see it, but it's got tomatoes on it. Okay, let me get to work out here and I'll show you guys when I start planting corn. Okay guys, so I have the irrigation on. I wanted to show you something here. Now you can get this whole kit from Hosstool. Everything you need. This is called a pressure regulator with a filter. You see how it's leaking? I have the most difficult time with this pressure regulator from Hosstool. I bought some new ones. They're in the house. I will probably bring those out and hook them up. I just turned this on because it was out here just for the sake of checking the irrigation system. So I have the row right here of the corn. I have the irrigation on so I can get it watered, and then I'll start putting some seeds in the ground. Hi guys, I went in the house and I got this other regulator to show you that's different from the one that I have. This is from Drip Depot. They even send you some candy. How about that? I'll show you the difference between the two. And this one here is supposed to not drip like this other one, so I hope that it works. I'll lay them side by side so you can see how one hooks up and maybe the difference between the two. So I'm assuming that my hose, my hose hooks into here, where this one here's got all this stuff here, and this is where it's leaking. So my hose is going to go directly into here, and then your regulator's right here where this one is up here. And then this is your T that's going to go directly into here, and you won't have this piece here to drip. So it'll go in here like this. So I'm hoping that that works a lot better. And you know, the old one didn't leak at first, but over time it started leaking, and it seems like I just can't figure out a way to get it in the right position that it doesn't leak. But it's a lot of waste of water. So I don't know if you can see right here the water where it's dripping. Pull this back a little bit. See, there's a little hole right there that the water drips out of. And so I will plant my corn seed right in there, around that. And I will do that all the way down this row. So I'm going to set you guys up while I plant this corn. Hey guys, I just went back in the house. Got to change a hat. The other one wasn't staying on my head very well, and then I put this band on it to hold it on. Wind has picked up just a little bit. I've got my corn in the ground. I'll water those seeds a little later, even though I had the irrigation on. But I wanted to show you the tomato plugs that I'm getting ready to plant, how they come from Hosstool and what they look like, and then I'm going to show you how I put them in the ground. So here's the box. I'm going to try to open this up one-handed. Maybe. Take my glasses off so I don't lose them. Maybe I'll just sit you guys down over here and I will turn around so that you can see them unboxed. Okay. Feels good to sit down. scissors. Try to tilt you guys out. At least I ran over my scissors and not my sunglasses. So when you get these, Hoss suggests that you put them in the ground within a day or two. They are ready to go in the ground. As far as tomato plugs, I think he's got three types. He's got Better Boy, Hossinator, and Red Snapper. Actually 4 types. He's also got one called a Shelby, I think. That is sort of like a San Marzano, if you've ever grown those. So they come wrapped like this. You get a little plastic tag on here. It tells you what it is, and I ordered Hossinator and Red Snapper. I've planted these before from seed and had really good luck with them. I got the sniffles, guys, because the pollen is terrible out here. So these are damp. I've ordered like 3 times now, and these have come in looking just great. So this is a tomato plug. They look really good. Sometimes you might get a couple that are together, you know, like you might score and get 2 or 3 stuck together. I did on my last order. You can get these from Hosstool. 10 of these are $12 and change. I think it's well worth it because that equals out to like, I think like $1.24 a plant. There might be one other one that comes out to $1.29. So I'm gonna put these in this row right here beside me. I've got T-post here because I said I was going to do the Florida weave to trellis these. So I'm going to get these in the ground, and this is what I put in the hole with the plant, calcium nitrate. I just put a handful in, and throughout the season of growing my tomatoes, I will sprinkle these along the ground like once every couple of weeks. Just sprinkle it in and water it in. And this really helps with blossom end rot. You ever had a tomato that got black on the bottom? You know, sometimes that's too much water and sometimes it's lack of calcium. I've used this for the past 2 years, my 3rd year using this. I have not had any problems with blossom end rot. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I put the first one in the ground, and then I'm going to get to planting these. I'm so happy to be able to put tomatoes in the ground, finally. It's a long time coming. Get you turned around. Okay guys, I got my first hole here. It doesn't need to be a very deep hole because these are just plugs. You know, a lot of people will tell you if you've got a longer stem, bury it all the way up to here. You could lay it sideways if it's long. But since these are plugs, I just drop a handful of calcium nitrate in there. Put that little plug in there. Push your dirt back around it. Nice and neat. There's a little piece of something there. Okay, so there's one. I just got a small shovel here. I had some broccoli, I think, planted in this. I think I might get 2 plugs in this one. Get these holes here. Get us some more calcium nitrate. See what they look like in here. Just pellets. Got a few in the hole. Don't matter if you miss the hole. Get a few around there. Get another plug here. Now, this is the first time that I've used plugs, tomato plugs. First time that I have grown somebody else's tomato in my garden. But You got to do what you got to do, right? You know, sometimes there's failures. You just move past it, move on. Okay. So, there's the first 3. See if I can get this way so you can see them. Okay, guys, I'm going to finish out this row, get all these in the ground, and then after that, I think I'm going to paint the arbor. The wind's not too awful bad, so we'll paint the arbor together. See ya.